I guess I would say that I would use the gavel if I see that we're entering into territory that may get us into problems, and I hope that the board would support that as we move along. Commissioner Nelson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'm struggling, and I need to say this, because I absolutely rely on the county attorney's office for legal advice for this board. But I'm sorry, I don't operate on rumor. And I just am very concerned that we would somehow be sitting here discussing rumors that might be out there. And I apologize. If we talk about not having the press, well, heaven forbid. Let's talk about the rumors some more. Let's keep these rumors going. Until something is filed, I'm sorry, we live in a litigious society. I know from past experience that this county is sued about once every working day. I believe that was with 220 working days we received a suit of some magnitude, about once a day. Until I have something substantiated, I don't know why we are bringing it here, and I apologize for that. If we have something that is concrete or more substantiated, I would appreciate if we had a closed session and if that was brought before us. But if we're talking about rumors, I'm sorry, let's see, in another 10 minutes, I'm going to run through the stop sign up here. I'm just going to make a quick right. I'm not even going to slow down for the sign, okay? So everybody should be paying attention, and then that rumor can be out there too. I can't do this. That has no place here at this board until someone files a complaint or something that we as a board can look at and deal with. To me, this is just perpetuating what has been going on since January 1. And I want to thank you.
Commissioner Forsman.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Keith has got his hand if you want to defer. Go ahead, Commissioner.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And I appreciate the opportunity, because Commissioner Sweeney's remarks beg a question. If indeed the issue is that we have a contractual arrangement with an employee that our attorney believes that is being violated, then I would ask that our attorney call for a closed session to discuss that with this board. But if that is not what occurred, or if that is not the belief, then I still stand with, why is it here? Is it perpetuating what has become a public spectacle? And so if my question to the attorney is there, in your opinion, is there something to discuss about a potential violation of the terms of the contract?
Commissioner Crone, Commissioner Nelson, there are very, very few reasons to close a meeting. Even if there was, if there is something, some action that has been possibly in violation, that does not constitute a reason to close a meeting. So I would have to say, I could certainly look at the law again, but there are very few reasons to close a meeting. Has there been threats? There has been a question. Do the comments that Commissioner Forsman put in his letter, do some of the comments that were held in, or Commissioner Forsman talked with the press about, or do the comments that were made, perhaps even under breath at some recent board meetings, constitute retaliation? I haven't answered that. We have not gotten a formal complaint. The question has been posed. I felt, after discussing with Commissioner Crone, that the best way to do it would be to bring to the attention of the board that we don't need these kinds of questions, that if the board would just refrain from making those kinds of comments, it would help and reduce our risk of the person deciding, well, maybe this is retaliation, and bringing a suit for breach of our agreement, which included not retaliating against the employee. When and if that lawsuit is brought, perhaps it would be time for a closed session. At this point, there is nothing I feel that would constitute privacy issues that need to have need to be discussed behind closed doors.
Thank you, Attorney Ford, and thank you for coming forward. You've told us some areas to be careful of, and I think that is your job. I know when Attorney Mitchell was here, if he saw us moving into an area that there was trouble, I always remember the hand would go up, and he'd either say right out, hey, Mike, or hey, Bill, or whatever, and you don't want to go there. And that's basically what you're saying. We've been warned. We thank you for that, and we'll continue to move ahead. And I think today was a good example of a positive board meeting. A lot of good things were reported on and happened, and thank you all for your civility this day. Motion to adjourn by Commissioner Rocker. Support by Commissioner Forsman. All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We're adjourned.